Welcome to Rather Be Teaching. I'm Janelle Carroll, and let's get started. Today, I'd rather be teaching Monumental Learning. This is the collect and create phase 1. So your students are going to get some sight blueprints. Those blueprints are going to be your Wonders Literature Anthology. Now, my example is from my class. So as you can see, your Wonders Literature Anthology is going to look a little bit different than this. For this activity, I want you to kind of start to think about a story. It can be any genre, really, where students are going to be having to find a lot of text evidence. Now, I decided to use a tall tale from Wonders Literature Anthology. The tall tale had a lot of examples of hyperbole that I wanted my students to find. So start to kind of think about what story you feel would fit with this monumental learning. So students are going to be getting to the phase where they start to collect. In the first stage of this, team against team build-off, students will be digging through the Wonders Anthology story to find as many examples of hyperbole text evidence to earn as many bricks for their creation as they possibly can before the time expires. So again, this is an example from my class. I was having students find text evidence from this Davy Crockett Saves the World tall tale. But again, you get to choose a story, any genre really, that would work with this. And then you're going to fire up the next part of the slideshow. This is like the phase 1. Students are going to have 35 to at least like 40 minutes. And you want that duration of that time so that they have a lot of time to look for that text evidence. So the slideshow is going to be up and you got your timer and pretty much you're ready to begin. So once the team can successfully find any 5 examples, they'll call you over to spot check their work. Now again, if you're with lower elementary, maybe you have them only find 2 to 3 pieces of text evidence before you come over. It's really up to your discretion again on your grade level and kind of where your students are at. This is a 5th grade example. So once those students found that 5 pieces of text evidence and I came over and spot checked, then one person from the team was rewarded by being able to grab a handful of Lego bricks to add to their collection. So I had a big basket of Legos, or a big box with all the Legos. Now, instead of having students use 2 hands, believe me, I've tried this, they would take with 2 hands like a giant, massive load of Legos out. And I didn't quite have that many Legos. So what I did was I had the student have to put 1 hand behind their back and only use 1 hand to grab some Legos. So then once they grab those Legos, they put it with their collection with their team, and then it's right back to looking for more text evidence. So really this is kind of a rinse and repeat. Really, the beauty of this activity is the more evidence a team can find in their blueprints, the more building materials they earn for their building efforts. This really motivates students to keep looking through the story and looking for as much text evidence as they possibly can because they really want those Lego bricks for their creation. And then we come to the create phase. So as soon as teams collect their handful of Legos, they can actually start to begin to build anything that really is inspired by the Wonders story. Now, for my upper elementary grades, I would say probably maybe third through fifth, groups will need to take photos of what they are creating as they go, and they're going to add them to a Google slide presentation for their team. This is going to serve as a digital scrapbook of all the cool things the team is creating. So you want to remind your students that they'll want to include captions to help others make sense of everything that they've constructed. Now for lower elementary, you could possibly have students still take photos. Maybe they use an iPad. If you have the Seesaw app you're using, they could take photos of their creations. And if they're not too good with typing yet, they could even do audio over their picture and explain how their creation goes with the Wonders story. So you have a few options there. Here are a few examples from my class. Here's an example of one of the monuments that they made. This was off of a Google slide presentation. So you see that they put their annotations on there. They kind of pointed to different things with arrows, possibly about what each thing is. Then they had to do a little bit of writing about what the build is. Like I said, we were reading that Davy Crockett tall tale. So then they're talking about this was Davy Crockett up on the mountain when he was fighting the comet. And another example from my class is this one. Again, you can see where they put little annotations on there. Basically, that was supposed to be Halley's Comet. There was a little island they made. There's a little place they had Davy Crockett. And this was supposed to be the part in the story where they talked about Davy Crockett hurling the comet back to outer space. And then they talk a little bit about the hyperbole that they found and a little bit about their build. So these are just a few examples to give you an idea. So hopefully you can kind of start to think about what story in Wonders might work with looking for a lot of text evidence, and students are really motivated because they want to get those Legos. So I hope you give this a try and stick around for the next video. There's more. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.